Well, it is January 6th, which means that in just 4 days' time, Harry the Prodigal Prince will release his much-anticipated memoir, Spare. While us mere mortals who don't have access to advanced copies can only speculate as to its contents, the book is said to be very tough on Prince William while going surprisingly easy on King Charles. Either way, I've got my copy pre-ordered and I, for one, cannot wait to hate read it. But it is not just the book the supposedly publicity-shy, privacy enthusiast Prince Harry has in the pipeline. In just 2 days' time, we will be subjected to not one, but two angsty interviews from Harry, one with CNN's Anderson Cooper and the other with ITV's Tom Bradby. Both of which promise to be, well, more of the same line that Harry and wifey Megzy have been running for a while now. It seems that they'll both range from their repeated but as of yet unsubstantiated claims that the royal family were leaking and planting stories about them in the press.
Why be so public? You say you tried to do this privately.
And every single time I've tried to do it privately, there have been briefings and leakings and planting of stories against me and my wife. You know, the family motto is never complain, never explain, but it's just a motto. The leaking and the planting, I want a family, not an institution. They feel as though it's better to keep us somehow as the villains.
To this strange, white guilt-laden self-flagellation.
What Meghan had to go through was similar in some part to what Kate and what Camilla went through. Very different circumstances. But then you add in the race element, which was what the British press jumped on straight away. I went into this incredibly naive. I had no idea the British press was so bigoted. Hell, I was probably bigoted before the relationship with Meghan.
You think you were bigoted before the relationship with Meghan?
I don't know. Put it this way, I didn't see what I now see.
I didn't see what I now see. If Harry wants to convince people that Meghan Markle wasn't the one who started him down this insufferable path of wokeness, or, to be blunt, that she isn't leading him around by the nose, that little admission certainly isn't going to help. However, what really caught my eye among the Duke and Duchess of Dreary's parade of recent publicity stunts was their Netflix series. Not because of its stellar content. The 6-episode romp received dismal critics and audience scores of 40 and 18, respectively, on review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes, and was described by IndieWire journalist Ben Travers as a dull diary entry. Nevertheless, you can imagine my shock and amusement when I found out that, in fact, I had been featured in episode 5. Not in a big way, it is merely a little clip from one of the many videos I have produced on my YouTube channel criticising Meghan and Harry, spliced together with clips from 2 other critics.
They were coordinating and talking about what they would discuss for that particular day or week, what pictures they should disseminate. They were actively recruiting people, telling people how to create multiple accounts, how to use VPNs, virtual private networks, to hide the IP so they don't get suspended. It's insane.
What is it about Meghan Markle that has driven Prince Harry to not only...
Every scenario. Who's the victim? Is because she separated him from him.
And it was done by people who were just not the typical quote-unquote trolls.
These are housewives.
These are middle-aged Caucasian women creating just constant attacks.
Nevertheless, I was thrilled to have effectively made my Netflix debut on such a high-profile, albeit low-quality, program. The only disappointment was that they didn't credit my YouTube channel by name. Oh, what a shame. The increase in my subscribers would have just been immense. Anyway, while I was thrilled at the mention, there were 2 things that perplexed me. The first was the implication in the episode from CEO of bot spotting app Sentinel, Christopher Bouzy, that I am a middle-aged housewife. Now, while to be clear, there is absolutely nothing wrong with being middle-aged or a housewife, the fact remains that I am neither. Without even opening their mouths, Meghan and Harry are perpetuating a falsehood, although perhaps this really is appropriate for the Sussexes, considering their perpetually loose relationship with the truth. The second thing that perplexed me was the fact that my YouTube video was placed within a discussion of an organised anti-Meghan trolling campaign on Twitter. Now, leaving aside the fact that Twitter and YouTube are obviously two separate platforms, my video was not the equivalent of the malicious 280 characters or less hot takes displayed on screen in conjunction with the clip. Instead, my video was a critique of Harry's Apple TV series about mental health, The Me You Can't See. In my video, I speculated that perhaps Harry felt helpless to save his mother when he was a little boy and subconsciously saw an opportunity to personally redeem himself by saving his wife, an insecurity subsequently exploited by Meghan. I also said this in my YouTube video. Everything I say in this video is just my opinion based on the material at hand. I'm not claiming to be an authority on mental health. I'm not claiming to be a mind reader. There is a chance that I am being too judgmental, and I am fully aware that my opinion ultimately doesn't really mean anything. So I'm guessing we're clear now. This is all just my opinion. Now, this is not the same as an anonymous troll smashing out a tweet wishing for terrible, violent horrors to befall Meghan Markle. Now, that Harry and Meghan are conflating legitimate criticism with vile, anonymous trolling should not surprise us. Pathologizing all negative commentary as some derivative of hate is much, much easier than confronting the possibility that maybe they are copping some flack because their behavior is questionable. Certainly, this barrage of half-baked excuses Harry gives for his treacherous, paranoid behavior in the second trailer for his ITV interview are pretty questionable.
I don't know how staying silent is ever going to make things better.
Wouldn't your brother say to you, Harry, how could you do this to me? After everything we went through, wouldn't that be what he would say?
He'd probably say all sorts of different things.
Some people will say, you have railed against invasions of your privacy all your life. But the accusation will be, here are you invading the privacy of your most nearest and dearest without permission. That'll be the accusation.
That'll be the accusation from the people that don't understand or don't want to believe that my family have been briefing the press.
If you're invited to the coronation, will you come?
There's a lot that can happen between now and then.
Now, look, to be fair, and regardless of my opinion of them, there is no doubt that Meghan and Harry are subject to some overly malicious trolling and, like all celebrities, disingenuous media coverage. However, pathologizing all criticism as bigotry or hate is not only lazy, but egotistical. If the Sussexes are sick of being covered in a less than positive light, well, perhaps they should endeavour to improve themselves.